1% of a $10,000 transaction is only $100, but when you get into the bigger size transactions of 100K or more, the revenue tends to be a bit higher. So it makes sense to charge more percentage for the smaller stuff when it's a manual process, especially with Currency Cloud's automation that you guys have provided. With that level of automation, there's no reason why you can't pass down those savings down to the smaller guys as well. So we're just fortunate that we can come in and kind of help that niche market. It tends to be underserved today, at least within Canada, for sure.
Makes a lot of sense. Well, Jonathan, I appreciate your time today. A lot of knowledge here for our guests. I guess last to wrap up, what's the best way for customers to contact you directly?
They can go to the website, and if you're a customer and you're looking at signing up, it's curex.com. That's curexe.com. And you can give us a call too if you like. It's 1-888-928-7393. So you can give us a shout or just hop on the website and register, and then we'll contact you directly after that. So
perfect. Well, thanks again, Jonathan, for your time. A lot of good knowledge here for future prospects, especially in Canada. So thanks again for your time.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Chris.
Currency Cloud is an online payments company that makes international money transfers fast and simple for businesses. We're building a borderless future where international transactions are seamless for a better user experience. Discover the world's most trusted payment platform and our toolkit of developer-friendly APIs at currencycloud.com.
You've been listening to the Payments Innovation Podcast. To ensure that you never miss an episode, subscribe now on iTunes or your favorite podcast player. Thanks for listening. Until next time.
Building a money service business, you have to think compliance first.
You're listening to Pay.
You're not just kind of providing a product or service where there's zero friction to adopt it. Your customer specifically needs to trust you, and that part takes time to ramp up.
You're listening to Payments Innovation, a podcast dedicated to helping business leaders navigate today's global digital economy. Looking to learn about the latest innovations within fintech and payments? You've come to the right place. Let's get into the show.
Hello, and welcome to the Payments Innovation Podcast for another episode. This is Chris with Currency Cloud, and today I have Eyal Lishitz from Bluevine. Eyal, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So just to kick right off, y'all, if you could give us a quick background of where you came from, what you're doing now at Bluevine, and then we can dive right in from your experience.
Yeah, sure. So I am the CEO and founder of Bluevine. Before this, I worked in venture. I was a principal at Greylock IL. Today they're called 83 North, venture capital firm with offices in London and Herzliya, Israel. Prior to that, I worked for a bit at McKinsey & Company, and then I have an engineering background. And as I said, I am the founder and CEO of Bluevine. I've been doing this for the last 4.5 years.
Okay, and appreciate that. And kind of what made you direct yourself to Bluevine? You can give a quick background, I guess, over a high level of what Bluevine does, and then we can dive in, discuss your efforts towards, the reasoning for opening to Bluevine.
Sure. So Bluevine provides working capital financing to small businesses online. And the reason I started the company was, one, always been passionate about small businesses, come from a long line of small business owners. My dad was a small business owner, his father was a small business owner, and was familiar with cash flow issues that small businesses face, and saw an opportunity to solve some of these issues with Bluevine. And then as I worked in venture, I saw a lot of innovations in fintech, and specifically around lending, and I realized that there's additional areas of opportunities where we started the company on invoice factoring. That's the first area, and then over time evolved to additional areas like our second product, line of credit. So that's the history and the genesis of the company.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, and it kind of hit it right at the growth of the fintech spurt. And I guess between fintech and other industries, what gave you more of an interest in an idea to really dive into the fintech arena compared to other industries and startups?
No, that's a good question. I can't put exactly the reason why it was fintech. The only thing I can say is that we're solving a real problem, and cash flow financing is something that it's not nice to have for small businesses. It is something which fundamentally without it they either cannot grow or can sometimes run out of business. And so I was looking for an area that we can really affect change and make a big difference, and that's one of those areas. It's not a nice to have. And I think generally fintech, because you're touching money, and money is usually a very important thing for a lot of people, then it matters. So I guess I was drawn to that area partially because of that.
Thank you for that. And when you go into this further, when you started to expand and understand your business model, what kind of challenges do you face? Whether it's geography, regulation, if you could touch on a couple of challenges that you face starting up a fintech.
Sure. So, starting a company is going to be tough no matter where the industry or area you're touching. Startups are hard in general. Fintech, there is an additional layer of complexity because you're right, you're dealing now with regulation, and you're also kind of handling sensitive information, and so there's additional things that you need to take into account, like security, which is even more critical. So it is, I'd say, generally a tougher business to start. In the beginning for us, if I needed to point on one area which was the hardest, it was really, getting the first customers and starting to make credit decisions. I think that part of starting out is challenging and scaling, but we've been fortunate to be able to kind of be successful with our product and grow. But that part in the beginning, kind of getting your initial customers, getting that market fit, primarily I'd say in fintech is challenging.
I agree, and as we see more fintechs come up with different ideas, it's really interesting to see how some do adopt very quickly, and then others over time it takes a bit of education and understanding, and then trust, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, I think you exactly nailed it. There's a matter of trust here, particularly, that you're not just kind of providing a product or service where there's zero friction to adopt it. Your customer specifically needs to trust you, and that part takes time to ramp up.
It does, and as you begin to ramp up and you start to scale, do you see the relationships that you're having, let's say with a banking relationship or other partners, do you see that trust begin to succeed as well, given that you're having scale and you're having lots more opportunities? Those relationships, that says with the vendors and banking partners, those begin to strengthen as your business starts to scale as well, do you see?
Yes, we do. And, I should say that our customers are not banks. We don't sell technology to banks. We work directly with small business owners, but we partner with banks. We work with